Hey, Laura, I'm not sure the stream key is working. Do you want to try to copy it and paste it in again as a new channel?
In 30 seconds, you will be witness to one of the greatest online events in the history of, well, online events. Descript proudly brings to you a topic that you deeply care about and whose name is the title of this online event. I'm Don. I am not your host. I am an overdub stock voice included for free with Descript. So, now, let's meet someone who actually works here.
Hey everyone, I hope you're excited for this live stream, Descript Season 2. I'm Lara, a video producer here at Descript. Good morning, evening, wherever you may be. Thanks for being here with us. What I'm going to do right now is play Andrew Mason's release notes video so you can see all the cool updates that are here for Season 2. And then I'm going to hand it over to Andrew to do some actual live product demo. And then we're going to do a Q&A, and you may see here this caption. We would love to bring some of you folks on stage, like literally on camera with us. Join us on stage, use the Ask a Question column on Crowdcast, and start your question with the word stage for an opportunity to join us on screen. You will get an emailed private link to join, so just keep your eyes on your email if you do want to be brought on. And yeah, we'll hope that it goes okay. So without further ado, I'm going to play this video.
January 26, 2022, which is the date of Descript Season 2 product release. Today's release is about making it fast and easy to repurpose your content into great-looking video clips. Descript already has this audiogram export feature, but it's limited to a few templates. Today, we're adding everything you need to create and customize those audiograms in the Descript editor. Add waveforms, progress bars, and dynamic text that updates with the name of your composition, current marker, or speaker. You can filter captions to only show for a specific speaker, and for Descript Pro customers, upload and use custom fonts that match your brand. With all these features in the Descript editor, you can easily create some arresting videos like,
I'm a person that if I absolutely have to sleep on an airplane, I'm going to try to put my head on the tray.
You do that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Social video is the headline of Season 2, but it's not all. If you're running a newer Mac, you'll notice huge improvements in performance and stability because Descript now has native support for Apple Silicon chips. We've also rolled out our blazing fast cloud export feature, which lets you export long videos in just a few minutes. Finally, we've made some improvements to our screen recorder. You can start, stop, and pause recording from this recording dock. And by the way, if you want this off the screen, you can hide it in the preferences. And for our pro users, you can add your custom branding to our share pages. Those are the highlights for Season 2. Goodbye. Hey, everybody. I'm Andrew, Descript CEO, joining you live from our office in Hayes Valley, San Francisco. Good to be here with you all. This is our second one of these events that we've done with our community, where we release a bunch of features and then talk about stuff. The first one was last year, and we released Studio Sound, which has really been popular. It seems to be beloved. We also released a ton of audio effects, massive improvements to overdub voice quality. If you haven't tried that yet, it is just eerie how good it is. Check it out. Big improvements to the usability of the editor. And we announced the export speed thing that we just launched. So we're back, and this release focuses on some other features that have been at the top of the list of requests, the things that people have been asking for. And what's cool about these social video features is that they really show off why Descript is so cool as both working with audio for podcasting, but also being a video editor. You can start with audio or video content and then easily create clips for sharing, whether it's for sharing on social media or sharing internally, clips from user research, whatever you want to do. So what I thought I would do, this is not a super long presentation, but what I thought I would do is give you a quick demo, show you some examples of the things that you can make with these features. And then we'll just go to questions. And the questions can be about this stuff, but they can be about whatever. I love getting to talk to you folks. There's some other, the office is kind of empty, but everybody's in there watching this. But it's also just kind of empty because we've gone largely remote. You can check out our industrial or artisanal jail interior design style. Hope you like it. So without further ado, let me share my screen. And I'm going to start by showing you how these features work. So again, like we've had for a while, this feature where you can go in here and create audiograms using these prefabbed templates, and there's a few customization options, and that'll still be there. But now what we've done is we've taken the ability to make that stuff out of this prefab template system and put it directly in the editor and made it much more flexible. So say I want to create a clip here. So I'm just looking through and say I want to create a clip around this. I can just take what I want. I can either copy it to a new composition by creating one manually, or I recommend learning the keyboard shortcut for clip to composition. You can just do that. And now I've got my audio clipped.
On an airplane, I'm going to try to put my head.
Okay, and it's still audio at this point. And then what I start to do is add various video assets. So I'm going to start by adding a background image. I'll just drag that right there. That's the background image I like to use. I can choose different aspect ratios and whatnot just as such. When I drop this in, it's just adding a track to the timeline, and by default, it's going to be, I think, 6 seconds. So you can extend it like that. But you can also, as I'll show you now, you can pre-select, and now I'm going to add, like, say, a waveform, and it just adds it over that entire height. Open the inspector to get all kinds of customization options, different styles, so you can really customize these things and make them look cool. I'm not going to add every aspect of this. I'm going to jump ahead in a second, but first I want to show you one other cool thing, which is the way that we've improved our fancy captions. So now you can just enter any text field like so. Make this a little bigger. And we have a new feature that's called dynamic text. So let's change the color here to white. And if I turn on dynamic text, instead of just manually typing something in, it's going to automatically channel some attribute of your composition. So I just have it as transcript by default, and you'll see now when I play.
Do you do that?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's taking whatever is in the transcript, and I can customize this by adding stuff like this.
Is that gross?
I think it's weird.
All right. Well, no.
Which is pretty cool. And then I can do things like also channel the current speaker, the composition name, the last marker, the last timer. So it gives you a lot of creative flexibility on how you can set these things up. And I'm just going to jump ahead to show you what the overall effect is once you get all this stuff in here. So just to play this.
I'm a person that if I absolutely have to sleep on an airplane, I'm going to try to put my head on the tray.
You do that?
Yeah.
Wow.
I forgot to show you something cool. That's all you need to see. But the cool thing I wanted to show you is if you go here, you can actually filter these boxes so they only show when a current speaker is talking. So you'll see, like, I basically have just 2 text clips for this entire audiogram, and one showing in one place and one showing in the other. And it makes creating these kinds of things really easy. So once you get this stuff set up, it's really easy to just basically treat it like a template that you can reuse. So if I go back and now I want to create another clip from my next podcast, I can go ahead and clip that. And then I can go into the first one that I have and basically, copy all of these pins that appear in the script as such and paste them. And then it's just a matter of, fine tuning these things to exactly the length that I want. That's the long and short of it. All the new stuff, if you go in here, you'll find a bunch of goodies, progress bars, and all the other stuff that we had before. So just play around in there. I'm going to switch now to showing you a few examples to tease your creative muscles. So here's one
example, like Dr. Laura Wilson, who's our paleontologist at the Sternberg.
That's inspiring. Here's another one. This is portrait style.
In the shadows, a few feet in front of him, shivering yet alive, is a child.
For someone who has been perhaps a little too serious, taking themselves and their work a little too seriously, and they need or want to explore puzzles or games, are there any?
I think we have some with video in here just to show that off. These are cool.
Invited everybody, including the contractor downstairs, to look at these complications which the contractor said could not be built.
I'm our head of media and creative content. So what that means is I look after our video production.
Yeah, so that's basically it. Like, the sky is the limit. You will be constrained only by your ideas. I think that's all I have to say. So we can go to Q&A. Yeah, you can use animated GIFs. I just saw that in the sidebar. I can't.
And I'm
hear you,
muted.
Laura. Oh, there you go.
Just a reminder, if you do want to join us live, use Ask a Question, start your question with stage, and we will invite you on screen. Don't be shy. We are friendly. So for now, we'll do some text Q&A. Are the features to be released out already?
Laura's hearing her own voice in her headphones on a delay. So if she's acting a little bit strange, we can chalk it up to that.
Or something else.
Yeah. Yes, I believe they're out now.
Oh, great. So yeah, is there anything people need to do, like make sure they have the latest version of Descript?
Yeah, make sure you have the latest version of Descript. By the way, we've tried to inform people about this, but we released if you're using a newer Mac computer, there's something special you need to do, which is you need to delete Descript and then go to descript.com/download and re-download it, because we have a new version that's native for Apple Silicon, and it's way faster. So you should definitely upgrade.
I can confirm that as someone who has an M1 chip. All right. Can you just show us again where to change the aspect ratio?
Yeah. If you can see my screen, you can do it right here. So even after you've created something, you just go right here and you can change your aspect ratio and your resolution to whatever you want. And then once you've changed it, it's easy to resize these assets and make things fit the way that you want.
Yeah, so you just hover over the video. That little thing will pop up in the corner, and then you can get access to the drop down from there. All right. I'm going to go ahead and bring some of the folks online, and I'm really going to do this, so I'm going a little less insane with my echo. Nico, is it okay if I bring you on? I'm going to just give me a thumbs up. Great. All right.
How's it going?
Nico, welcome.
Hey, Nico.
Long time listener, first time caller. Hey,
what can we do
Andrew,
for you today, Nico?
I appreciate it. So I'll actually just read the question. It got 10 votes. I'm thankful for that. I'm eager to learn how I can best leverage Descript for my team. It's really like an all-in-one podcast management tool for us at this point. I've been using a bunch of other stuff like Headliner and transcripts. I'm stoked with what you just showed us with the Headliner equivalent audiograms. But do you have any tips for those of us who are trying to figure out like what can we consolidate into Descript? And more importantly, the question that I originally posted was, how do I learn more about how to collaborate with my team and export files?
Great question. We've really tried to build Descript from the ground up to make it work well with teams. First of all, like when you open Descript and you're in that main drive view, you'll see in the left column. Why don't I just show you? There is a thingy over here that you can click to just invite people. And a cool thing is that these basic seats are free. So people can use the screen recorder for free. People can leave comments for free. So if you want to, you can just be cavalier about inviting everybody in your company without thinking too hard about whether you want to pay for an additional seat. And then the people that you want to pay for an additional seat, now or later, you can upgrade them to an editor seat. So that's the first thing you want to do, is just get everybody invited to your Drive workspace. And then when you're here, the way Descript works by default is anything that you create in your Drive workspace will be shared by your entire team. And then you have your personal workspace that you can use for stuff that is just for you, like your screen recordings are going to go here. But like, when we do, a way that we use it is I have all our external videos in here. So when I do a video like the release notes video earlier, I have it here. I can then go up. This is like new stuff that we haven't shipped yet. But if you click, I'm just laughing at my amateurism. But there's something up here that looks like that. I think it says share. And if you click there, you can just take that link, post it in your Slack, post it in your Microsoft Teams, send it over email. And once you do that, other people will be able to join, already have access, and then they can leave comments just like so. You can mention your collaborators like so. And it should all work quite nicely.
Yeah. The thing, I had an experience recently where an editor that we were trialing sent us the file in Descript and then shared it out to the guest who I had like a 2.5 hour conversation with. and I was really blown away, but I haven't been able to replicate that. I haven't been able to actually like get the files in and share them with a guest and have that guest, because we have paid sponsors at times that want to get in and sort of help craft the narrative so that
Yeah.
the cuts are made cleanly.
So let me show you one other. I'm just going to see if I can quickly switch to the main version of the app here.
And while you're doing that, I have to presume, although I haven't dug too deeply, that you guys have a video library teaching a lot of this stuff too, right?
We try. Yeah, and I'll show you that.
Okay.
So if you click right here, sidebar, we have all of these things, and each one of these has a bunch of really useful videos. If you go to the help center, there's more stuff specifically on sharing that might not be captured here. So what I wanted to show you,
for those wondering, I'm not a plant by the team to ask basic questions.
So I didn't successfully fully quit Descript. Hold on.
While you're waiting, there's a Discord server that's been shared in the chat for those of you that want to join the Discord server.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Okay, so when you go to, there's another thing you can do, which is you can click this export button, and it will let you publish Descript to a page.
Yeah.
That is, the comment stream and everything is separate, and it opens in a web browser, and it's a really great way to collect comments from.
Yeah, this is exactly what they shared with us, and it's it's how we were able to compile comments from 3 different guests over a 2-hour interview in an otherwise seamless way that would have been just brain damage over email, how we've done it before.
Great. Yeah, I think that's what you want. And this flow, what you saw in the version of the app I was in is some improvements we're making to streamline that further and almost make it like a default way of how the app is going to work.
Yeah. And just one more question, I guess, around the feature that you just talked about. What effectively are these video and audiograms? Are these templates universally available to anyone regardless of level? So you mentioned, just asking or invite loads of team members as basic members, and they can still access it and create content with it?
Yeah, so all of those components, the progress bars, the waveforms, the dynamic text filtering, that is all available on Creator. It's even available on the free plan. The only thing I think that's that you have to pay more money for is the ability to upload your own fonts. That said, you can now load any Google font. Google has like a massive font library of awesome fonts, and you can just paste in, you can search the entire library and add any Google font, and that's available on all plans.
Amazing. Andrew, my hat's off. You guys are building an amazing product. Really blown away.
Thank you.
Every time.
Thank you so much, Nico. Appreciate the questions. Muted. Still muted.
Once again, I suck. Thank you, Nico. Nolan, are you all right if I bring you on? Excellent.
Hey, Andrew, how's it going?
Hey, Nolan.
Hey, yeah, thanks for this webinar today and all these amazing features we're putting out. I'm super stoked. Long-time Descript fan, user, implementer. And I wanted to kind of touch on a little bit of what Nico was just asking about, but even go a little bit deeper. Right now, at Chili Piper, where I work, we've implemented Descript into like 9 seats, and we have a bunch of people on our product marketing team using Descript mainly to, collaborate on case studies, because obviously we need to get through content and have content, eyes on the whole picture rather than just like, in a waveform, which is why we love Descript. And then also using it for podcast production for our in-house podcast. And my question is sometimes I'm collaborating on a project with a product marketing manager, and we're working in the project at the same time, and I wondered if there's any plans to implement more real-time collaboration within a project, to be able to see what's happening, or like, I'm highlighting this and deleting that, and that's updating in more real time. Because in the past we've been working on something similar. It's like, hey, did you just change my Descript project? And it's like, oh yeah, sorry, I didn't know you were in there. So I just wanted to ask about that firstly.
Yeah, so it is. You will be glad by the answer. It's in private alpha right now. If you email me at andrew@descript.com, if you want to be a guinea pig, and we would love to
100%.
have you included. And just so everybody knows, like, we have the multi-user editing right now, but it's kind of on, like, it updates every 5 to 10 seconds. So you get this kind of like beat thing. And the new version is real time, like Google Docs, where you actually see exactly what's happening.
Love it. That's exactly what I'm like. I'm like, yes, I just want to be able to like hop on. We don't have to get on a Zoom call and collaborate and do all this stuff to like get our project to work together. So that's super exciting. I'm really stoked for that.
Oh,
That's
good.
exciting.
We're glad to hear that. It's been a lot of work, so it would
I bet.
suck if
I can't
if you
imagine.
cared. Yeah.
No, because like for us, like we're a fully remote company. We've always been remote, and to be able to have collaboration tools that actually allow us to have context in real time is super important, because we're not sitting next to each other, or I can't go over to somebody's desk and go, hey, what do you think? Like, we're literally doing this through the apps that we use every day, and Descript has become a key part of our toolkit. And so that's just really awesome to hear.
In a perfect world, would you have some kind of like live audio chat or something while you're editing, or you would just purely be in Descript? And
we're pretty Slack first, so like if we do a quick video like audio chat, then we'll just do the huddle feature.
Right.
I wouldn't be upset if that was a part of the if I can be more in my focus time in Descript and I don't have to leave. If I'm going through an hour-long podcast, I don't want to break that focus. If I can just ping somebody in, that would be great. Or even a like project chat feature that's not comments, that would be awesome. Like if there's comments attached to a project that aren't in the public facing kind of side of things, like if I publish something, maybe I don't see that chat, but like something like project owners could see what we're talking about in context. That might be great too. But yeah, that's awesome. I have one more question also, just around the new features today with Audiograms. Love that. Been trying to kind of hack together Audiograms to make what we're seeing today, like by making Photoshop files that, go behind the video, that have stuff going on and all that. So I'm super stoked. What I'm curious about is there any plans to be able to, let's say, make a look for an audiogram and then save that as almost like a layout template, instead of needing to copy paste over all the fancy captions, the rectangles, all that stuff?
Yeah, like the short version that was originally part of the plan for this release.
Gotcha.
But we cut it because we ended up coming up with a bigger idea that will be shipping later this year, but impacted that stuff, so it'll ship as part of that. But absolutely.
Cool. That's awesome. Just because like working in our podcasting, like, one podcast episode can trigger off like 5 different audiograms or whatever. And you want them, you want to be able to quickly pump those out. But I'm really stoked to see that highlight feature where we can just then basically clip it without needing to copy, paste, duplicate stuff, and just, within the comp, make a new, make a new instance. That's awesome in itself. So super stoked.
Cool. Yeah. Hopefully it gets you pretty far, and then we'll have stuff that'll save you a few more clicks coming out later this year.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Andrew, for all you're doing.
Yeah, my
Huge
pleasure.
Descript fan. Love it. Yeah, I'll probably be emailing you for that
Please
alpha.
do.
That sounds awesome. Yeah.
Great. All right. See you, Nolan.
Once again, I was muted. Every time. All right. Let's bring a text question on from some folks in our chat. Let's see here. Do you have an API for customized audiogram creation?
Not yet, but would love to hear more about that. Post something on our feedback board. We watch that very carefully. We have a direct line into our Slack where we see everything that goes there, and would love to hear your ideas about what would be useful. An API is something we'd love to do, but still maybe a bit further out.
All right. Just multitasking here. I just put the link up, feedback.descript.com. All right. I'm going to go ahead and bring on another caller. Chris, are you okay if I bring you on? Cool.
How's it
Welcome,
going?
Chris?
Hey, Chris.
How you doing?
Doing great. Love the
That's good.
screen name, From the Depths of Darkness to the Light of Success.
That's my podcast. So
Oh, it is?
yeah, I've been using Descript since the beginning of launching it back in like 2020. So, or not just, or sorry, late last year. So early last year.
Oh, great.
Yeah, last summer it started it was 2 years into my thing, but I really enjoy your software and it's come a long way, man. It's helped the workflow, man.
Awesome. What's up? How can we help?
So I was wondering, so you know how like you have overlay, obviously like we do right now with Restream, there's going to be a way to be able to create like an overlay for your video, like when you drop it into, having the side-by-side and stuff. I set it up before I come in, but I want to be able to design an overlay within Descript, if you understand what I'm saying.
Like a OBS kind of a thing?
So, something like that, like a similar,
like a layout of your camera and other stuff?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
Like
the answer
more,
is yes.
more it's coming?
It's coming, and it's going to be just magnificent.
Powerful. All right.
Yeah, it's going to look forward to it. Like
it's a pain in the butt.
Look forward to
doing it beforehand and then
ever.
dropping it in.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
And when do you expect that to come out? Sorry.
Later this year.
Yeah. Nice, man. And everything else you're doing, man, like the waveform, when you just introduced that stuff today, that's amazing, man. The stuff you can do now. And dropping your own fonts. That was another one of my questions, but you already dropped the bomb, so I didn't have to. Because I have my specific fonts I use for my stuff. I have to create and drop it over from Canva and stuff now, but now I can drop that font and use it all in there now.
Nice. What is the brand font of From the Depths of Darkness to the Light of Success?
So it's a Paper Tiger. It's called.
Yeah. Good choice.
I love it.
I don't really know what that font is, but I'm sure it's great. Sounds good.
If you check out my my design on the lettering, you'll see the font and stuff. So
cool.
Well, thank you again for having me on though and stuff on the live here. So
yeah, totally. Great to meet you. Thanks for coming on.
Great to meet you too, and keep doing with the service, man. The Descript is amazing. The workflow. I don't have to do anything else anywhere else now. Everything's done right there.
So cool. Yeah, we'll keep at it.
All right, take care, man.
Appreciate it.
All right. I'm going to bring on Dan Gordon. All right.
Hey, Dan.
I love what you guys have created here. It's really something unique.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. I mean, keep it up. My big problem is that I am very impatient and I want to learn everything immediately. And so I'm looking at all these amazing tools and abilities. And I would really love a comprehensive tutorial or walkthrough or training. And is something like that, I've looked at the help, but is something like that coming online?
Have you've looked at the stuff we have in that sidebar, the videos we have there?
Yeah. And I just checked out the help section and there's a lot of
tell us, give it to us raw. What could be better? What's it missing?
Like a start to finish, like taking a sample thing that I can download and just walk through all of the steps with a video
of making a podcast.
just a podcast, a recording, and just walking through all of or as many of the different systems and tools and abilities that Descript has, just to I think that would, I've always found it really helpful with tutorials that do that. Just take a testing, a sample, and take me through all the different aspects of it. It puts it in my mind. And
great question. It's we care a lot about making great learning materials. Honestly, we care more about making an app that hopefully doesn't require you to use learning materials, and that will be the journey that we continue on. But we definitely want the learning materials to be great too. What we've learned is everybody has a different style of learning, and we've tried to have a couple of different ones. The ones we have right now, we have a couple of walkthroughs for different use cases of a bunch of videos. So there's one in there for podcasting. I'd love your feedback on it. Like if you go through that and you check out after a video, email me, andrew@descript.com, and tell me what's wrong with it. And we'll incorporate that into the next iteration. So we're gonna refresh everything in the next couple of months. Pardon? What'd you say, Dan?
Would you say again where I can find that?
Oh, yeah. So right here.
Put it in the chat.
I'll just show you. So if you go here and you click on the question mark, we have this on podcasting, and this is kind of a step, almost like a step-by-step guide of the things you are most likely to want to do when you're creating a typical podcast. You know, the art and the science of this is not trying to get people through the essentials without not overwhelming with all of the features that you can do. So we're always trying to improve this stuff, and would love to hear what you think.
All right, I'll check that out. One last thing. Sometimes when I go to apply Studio Sound, it just says it wouldn't work. Try again. And
so try again.
I do, and I get the same message.
Oh, you do? Oh, no. No, it's not supposed to work that way. I think we were having some hiccups with it last week that hopefully have largely been resolved. If you continue to see it, like Discord is also a great way to get our attention. But we monitor that stuff closely, and hopefully it's not an issue going forward.
Okay.
Apologies.
I don't want to dominate the stage time, but thank you so much for this and doing this and being so open. This is super helpful.
Yeah, totally. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, be well.
See you later.
All right, I'm going to bring on our next guest. Chris, are you ready? I'm going to take that as a yes.
Hey, Chris.
Myself. Hey. So I have a question. It's a little bit more tailored to sort of the tiers of subscriptions for Descript, and sort of working with multiple clients. So I have a lot of different clients who I use Descript in conjunction with them to produce a podcast. And some of them are very well versed in Descript, or they worked in a DAW before or something else. And some are not. And I find that it's been challenging to sort of bridge that gap with hosts who don't want to take the time to sort of learn the Descript or watch the great tutorial videos that are out there, either from Descript. And so is there any plans in the future for Descript to kind
Hold on, the mail's here. I'm listening though.
To sort of develop sort of like I use a creator package and not a pro package, but a creator package, or a package that kind of like makes it just a little bit easier for someone who I'm working with to make edits or work on something that doesn't have all of the bells and whistles that maybe, say, a multimedia video and audio sort of dashboard would have.
Yeah. Are there specific things that come to mind where they get hung up that are just like learning curve issues?
Yeah, I think one is one big one, which I've kind of talked to IT or support about, is I try to kind of go around by just finishing up my work, or a co-producer finishes up their work and they publish it as a web page. But we found that there's a whole suite of errors that occur that kind of mess up the whole purpose of having Descript, because the timestamps are weird. The markers get moved around. Comments don't move from the web page version back into the app version, which makes sense. And so there immediately becomes this sort of silo effect, and hosts get a little like, wait, this marker is not in the right place, or like this, I wanted this part to be the audiogram. And we're like, oh yeah, that is the section you want to use as the audiogram. It just got translated incorrectly on the web, and they kind of like don't get it. And when they go into Descript, they're just a little overwhelmed with all the buttons and knobs, which seem very normal for someone like me who's in it every day.
So in a perfect world, what you want to give to your clients is something like the web page version where the markers don't break and the comments are exposed better, between, kind of like synced between the page and the app. Does that sound right?
Yeah. And I think, they also like the ability to maybe strike through edit, so that if they find something they don't want to have in, or even adding text, doesn't have to be like an overdub, but a way in which they might want to do a retrack. I didn't like how this question landed, so I'm going to strike through, and down below I'm just going to write normal text. The retrack, the overdub text writing kind of becomes a sluggish thing. The response time is very slow, even on an M1. And so the ability to just type in text to know that we'll record that with, Audacity or like voice memo, and then drop it in later, I think makes it just kind of like takes the burden off of the inexperienced client in a way that makes it more seamless for them.
Yeah. Thank you. That's great feedback. The marker thing sounds like it shouldn't be happening. So we'll take a look at that and see if we have that logged, and maybe we'll follow up with you if we don't, and you can show us.
Great.
The comment syncing stuff is like I guess the short answer to your question is we're trying to make those pages more useful for your use case through finding ways to deal with the comment stream and reveal that on both sides in a way that's useful, and then to continue to build out the collaboration tools so that there's something that you can share that people can open in a normal web browser. But I think I understand the way that you want to use it, which is really helpful. And it's great to hear all these team questions, because Teams is one of our main areas of focus this year, is making collaboration more seamless.
Yeah, I'll say overwhelmingly, when people are exposed to Descript for the first time, whether they're a host who was given a transcript with a prior producer was given a transcript of block text with no paragraph breaks or speakers, she would have to go through and individually strike out the ums and the uhs and write the timestamp and then take a picture of it and send it. Like, she's just been overwhelmed by how seamless Descript is. And then I have other people who are seasoned producers who haven't gotten to Descript yet because they come from a different part of the industry, and I show it to them, and it's just like, you guys are disrupting. So it's great. It's great that you have these forums for this. I appreciate it.
That's great to hear. This company, like Descript, started out as a internal tool in a company called Detour. This used to be the Detour office. We still haven't taken down the artwork. Anyway, it was an audio tour app, and like half the company were us techies, and then half the company were public radio producers, ex-public radio producers. And watching them try to do this stuff, like, we really came to appreciate how painful the parts, like, it wasn't just editing that's hard, it's all the other parts of the workflow, like dealing with transcripts and the timestamps, and it just felt like it needed a 21st century upgrade. So it's really great to hear that that problem seems to be fairly universal.
Yeah, and you guys have done a really good job at being this kind of high-level translator for people who they're like, I want to do a podcast. I'm like, you want to do a podcast? Okay, well, it's not as easy as it used to be. And they're like, why? And it's like, you show them the list of things you got to do, and Descript just kind of satisfies 80-90% of it. So great job.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for hopping on, Chris.
Cool.
Appreciate the questions. Okay.
Why? Why can I not unmute myself? We have 2 more guests backstage, and then we're going to do like a lightning round of your text questions. So coming up is Jacob.
And hopefully I can still talk. Yes.
You
okay.
can.
Yay.
Hey, Jacob.
So I love Descript. It's great. Absolutely use it. But I've been getting some pressure, not pressure. My partner on the podcast wants me to do more audiograms because it really helps us on social media. So I'm really excited for all the tools that you just announced. Are they available at all pay levels, or like, are there different tiers that are available to us?
All pay levels. The only thing you can't do is upload your own fonts, but there's like a zillion Google fonts that we now support. So unless you have like something really specific, you should be able to get it at the creator plan.
Excellent. Thank you.
Totally. Thank you.
Was expecting that to go longer. All right, and I'm muted again. All right, L Joy, if you're ready, I'll bring you on board.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you so very much. I am a huge fan of Descript, and before you guys did the I guess referral program, I had like 11 of my friends who podcast come on to join us, so we have our own little crew of folks that use Descript. But I wanted to ask about continuing the Teams theme. I primarily started my show by myself, and so used Descript to do a lot of the editing. And now I have some editing help. However, I use interns to do the correction of the transcript text. And I was wondering if there is a way, besides adding additional seats, because I have close to 200 hour-long episodes that I'm going back and, editing so that for accessibility purposes, and maybe producing them as Medium posts, as conversations that I want to do, and just trying to think of the best way to do that.
Yeah, totally. So you can invite guests to your projects for free with edit access. So if you just have somebody that you want to invite like to a project here or there, there's a way you can do that without paying to make them a Drive member.
And to edit the actual text of the thing. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
the only thing I'll say, just so you're not mad when it happens, is that like, so right now you can add unlimited or you can add the same person to like every project manually if you want. They never have to pay. And at some point we'll probably like plug that up a little bit and make people pay at some point. Like our goal is like, if people are using the app a lot and they're getting value out of it, that we charge for that in a way that seems reasonable. Right now it's free just because we haven't gotten around to building that stuff, but at some point we may.
And then the last thing is that in editing the ums or your phrases, I edit my text, or I edit my portion of the interview, but I never edit my guests in terms of how they speak. And I'm, wondering if there would be a way to sort of isolate and just edit one particular guest or one particular speaker rather than going through all of it.
Yeah. We need to add a few more filters to search that allow you to just pull stuff from a single speaker or just limit to your current selection. And that'll do that. So that's been kind of on our to-do list for a while, and hopefully we'll get to it soon. I ran into that the other day trying to use the app, and it's a pain. You wish it could do that.
Yeah. Well, I want to say thank you. I'm sure there are other people who have awards, but like this has been really helpful, and to the point that my show is like nominated for Outstanding News and Information Podcast.
No way! Congratulations!
Yeah, the NAACP Image Award. So I'm like, so you can vote. I put it in the chat. Folks can vote for it. But I thank you so very much, and I'm going to continue to recommend because it's really great.
Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thanks.
All right, one more surprise guest, lightning round, then we're done. Alan, get ready. Welcome.
Hi there. How are you doing?
Hey, Alan. Nice
Hey,
to meet
guys.
you.
Thanks for having me on. I'm currently working I'm a teacher at Seneca College in Toronto, and we're creating a course that teaches accessibility in podcasting, and we're looking at using Descript as one of the tools we'll have the students use in the course. And I've been talking a little bit with Harmony on your team, who's been great and really helpful. And so one of the things we've been looking at is the accessibility features for people that have limited dexterity or sensitivity to certain colors. Is there any plans to introduce any customizability into the software where users might be able to change the layout and the look of it, or any ways that they can work with screen readers more effectively and that kind of thing?
Yeah, so I know we're in the process right now of kind of overhauling some of the components of Descript in a way that that should make that stuff possible. I don't know all the details or exactly when that's going to roll out, but it's something that we're thinking about as we're making some structural changes. A couple other things that may be interesting to people: we're working on support for transcription in different languages, and that will be out sooner rather than later. That's our top feature request. And a few other things related to accessibility that'll be coming later this year that are going to remain unannounced. But that's something we're definitely keeping in mind as we're making these upcoming changes.
Yeah, that's great. And just sort of building on what you're saying there, users that may have hard of hearing users that may have less than optimal speech, they may have difficulty pronouncing words, that kind of thing. Would the transcription engine be able to handle someone in that situation, perhaps, potentially?
Oh. That's really interesting. I don't know if they're so we just use, actually, like, our dirty, it's not really a secret, but we don't do our own transcription. We do a bunch of other, like, we have a bunch of magic technology that's all built in-house, but transcription is something that a bunch of other big companies do really well, so we just use their APIs to do transcription. I'm not aware of anything like that, but have you heard of anybody working on a transcription?
No, I haven't actually. No, it just it was one thing we'd considered, because we started off looking into users that have difficulty hearing and how they can edit audio, and then of course Descript becomes a great tool for that with the text-based editing, and I don't see anything like that on the market, and it has a lot of features that create a much smoother workflow because it's integrating so many things that people were doing in a more like a patchwork method before. But that was one thing that has come up just as a consideration for us, if that could be something that might be thought of in the future that would definitely help.
Yeah, I never thought of it. Thanks for mentioning it. We'll keep an eye out for developments there.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I lied. We have one more guest. Etienne, I hope I'm saying that correctly. I'm going to bring you on. Hi.
Hi. Thanks for having me. Hey, Andrew.
Hey.
Descript's been a game changer for me. I just want to thank you guys so much. You've saved me thousands of hours of finding people on Upwork to try and do the little social videos for us. So I love doing podcasting, and so being able to just do my own edits to find the nuggets has been really important to me and good for me. I had a question on your direction for content publishing. I find that for the snippets, I kind of have to start from scratch if I'm going to publish it to YouTube or to LinkedIn or to Instagram or even TikTok. So I guess this might be a fantasy, but is there a world where I can have the templates ready to go and I just basically say, take this composition and just publish the same to the same 3 or 4 platforms without having to sort of design it from scratch every time? And forgive me if that's already a feature that exists, but I was wondering about your direction with that.
No, not a fantasy at all. So in what we're shipping today, because you have the ability to lay out your video in a composition, it's pretty easy to just copy those clips from one into the other. So it's better, I think, than what it's been in the past, but there's still some manual work. Later this year, we'll ship exactly what you're asking for, which is the ability to kind of save a template and then just apply it with a click.
Great. So from today, it's possible to, with the features you've added, to then just basically, if I copy the clip, then I'm going to be copying all the edits and the assets with it, and then I can adjust maybe the layout and stuff.
Yeah, you can do something like duplicate the composition and actually delete the text and then paste in your new clip there, or just copy the pins from one into the other. So there's ways that you can do it for sure. And that's what I do, for example. Like you only really need to do the heavy lifting of setting it up once. But it'll get really just dead simple and with the stuff that we're releasing.
Great. And then just a shout out for the South Africans. The transcriptions are a little tough with the South African accents.
Oh, good feedback. We'll keep an eye out for some tuned transcription models that can capture the nuance.
No problem. So just again, thank you so much. Brilliant software. It's been a game changer for my company. So thank you. You guys are amazing.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Great to meet you. Bye.
All right, let's do some of these questions. And Andrew, if you could read them out loud so I don't have to talk like this.
Okay.
I would appreciate that.
Sure.
Thanks. Okay. This is a good question.
Oh, can I add video to my audiograms? Yes, absolutely. Anything you can do in Descript, you can, like they're basically just videos. So you can do all that stuff.
Next question.
In regard to fancy captions, can you display a single word at a time? Yes, you can. Pro tip, just make the box super small and then you'll get a single word at a time. Have you created a tutorial that walks us through all the audiogram features yet? Yes, we have. I don't know if it's live yet. I'm checking. It's almost certainly live.
It should be in the Learning Center, Learning Rail.
Yeah. Check the Learning Rail of your app. If it's not there, it'll be there soon. Also, we'll have stuff on YouTube, on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, and that'll walk you through how to do the sort of template thing you were just talking about. It'll show you all of that. Okay. Looks like we have one more guest if you'd like to talk to them. John?
Yeah, let's do one more and then we can wrap up and let everybody go to lunch or
yes,
whatever.
Hi, John.
Hi. Thanks
Hey, John.
for having me on. I'm one of these old school people who have been using Descript for a long time, but strictly for the audio and transcription, facility that it has, and it's been a great tool for pretty accurate transcriptions of audio interviews. I'm a journalist and a writer, and haven't used the video components, which I see are now being given a real push from the company, which is fully understandable. Are you downplaying the features now for journalists and regular old school print writers? Is there going to be less of an emphasis on the transcribing section of the audio on the site, or are there also going to be additional improvements made to that as well?
So I'll answer kind of at a high level, and then I'd love to hear what improvements you would like us to make. We see transcription as foundational to everything that we do, accurate transcription. And for the gap, for that last mile between what the automatic transcription can do and perfection, making workflows that allow to close that last mile as quickly as possible. So that's why, like last year, we built our transcript correction wizard and kind of added some new keyboard shortcuts, which, for a lot of apps would be kind of power usery, but if you're spending a couple of hours going through an automatic transcription, most people can pick them up pretty quickly, and it just makes it way faster than even what a professional transcriptionist could do. So we care about that a lot. The focus on video, I think the social video stuff reflects well the way that we see the world, which is that the traditional divide between audio editors, DAWs, and video editors, NLEs, is kind of an accident of history. And really the correct way to think of it is, there's narrative media and then there's music. But there should be one tool that's great at narrative media, and it can go across the spectrum of audio and video. Because for the modern creator, they live across that spectrum. They're producing for both mediums. So, that remains absolute audio. And we think of ourselves as an audio first, a speech first editor. So all of that stuff remains essential. It's just, all this stuff that we're going to continue to build will improve both audio. We'll continue to improve upon the audio use cases. For pure transcription, for things like I want to get a transcript that I can export as a Word doc or something like that, that's been something like you can do with Descript, but it's never been something we've gone after as a core area of focus. So we're not going to go come up with special things for legal transcription or medical transcription users. We don't spend a lot of time thinking about that. We think about creators.
Mm-hmm.
How could we improve it for you though, John?
Well, just a couple of features I noticed that are lacking in the basic subscription that I have is the excessive words I find, which are easy enough to get rid of by myself, but the knows, the I means, I see it takes out and which is great, but there's so many redundancies in a transcription that in audio is fine and on a podcast, but in print you take that stuff out to make someone sound a little bit more articulate.
For sure. Well, this is cool. I mean, I don't know. I think this is like that's a good opportunity to talk about, I think, how this stuff all overlaps. So if we have a pro version of filler word removal that's only available in the pro plan, and it does detect, it detects repeated phrases and repeated words and likes, right? And then you can go in and you can either remove those from the audio or you can remove them just from the transcript if you want to. And that's something that we will continue to invest in, is making our filler word detection be something that just really is good at detecting speech disfluencies as a class and cleaning that up for people.
And accents as well, is that something that you're tapped into? Because I've interviewed many people with European accents.
Yeah. So
Swedish.
What we do is we basically keep an eye on all the different transcription services out there, automatic transcription services, because we don't build it ourselves. We figured it was smarter to look at what Google's doing, look at what all these other companies are doing, test them. So figure out who's the state of the art, and it's changed over the lifetime of Descript being a company, and then we just try to take the best stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So as the state of the art in that stuff improves, Descript will improve.
Okay, and finally, there was one point where you were charging well, it was unlimited hours of transcription, and that's changed substantially. And again, I virtually have dozens of hours of transcribing that goes into a book or a large article. So if it's 2 or 3 hours that are free a month, and the rest is paid for, I everything's auto paid on my account, so I probably should keep better track. But are there special packages available if you're just using these limited sections of the site?
Yeah, I don't think we ever had unlimited transcription. I mean, if anything, we just like weren't billing for it, and it was a loophole back in the day. But it's always been 10 hours per month for creator and 30 hours for pro. And then if you need to up it because you have a spike in usage, you can go in and manually increase your transcript hour allocation and then bring it back down when you're done.
Okay, great, good to know.
Yeah.
Love the service for my needs, and
cool.
I feel like a dinosaur.
Not at all. Well, thanks for the questions and the feedback, John.
Okay, thanks, Andrew.
I'm still muted. We'll
Should
leave
we
the
wrap
stream
up?
on for a few after we wrap and answer your questions in Crowdcast. Look for our responses in the Ask a Question Answered section of the site. And without further ado, Andrew, would you like to take us home?
Oh, I just wanted to thank everybody that works here. Here's some of the people that work here. They built all this stuff. I get to sit here and listen to everybody say nice things about Descript, but they're the ones that built it. So thanks for coming. Season 3 is going to be like crazy. So we're hard at work on that and can't wait to be back for another one of these. Bye.